Hi, I'm Shannon and welcome back to the 5-Minute Gardener. So yesterday we got all of our containers prepared for planting and we visited the greenhouse and bought some flowers to plant as well. We didn't get started putting anything in the ground because yesterday was a really hot afternoon. So that's what I'm going to get started on this morning. I'm going to first be planting a bunch of different types of seeds. Then I'm going to be planting vegetables that have already been started, some flowers that have already been started, and some bulbs. So I've started off with soil that is slightly damp. Read the packet for whatever variety of seeds you are planting and it will tell you how deep and how far apart you should make the hole. I'm starting off with peas here and I'm planting next to a fence so that the peas can grow up the fence as they grow. Then after the seeds are in, you simply cover with the appropriate amount of dirt. Again, it will tell you that on the package. And usually you cover seeds lightly with dirt. You should not pack this soil down unless the packet specifically says to do that. Now when I'm finished planting, I want to give the seeds a generous drink of water to help them settle in and to help them start to germinate. So all the seeds are in the ground now. If you don't have markers to put in the ground of what you have planted, make sure you write in your gardening journal what varieties you have planted where. Now I'm going to plant the vegetables that I've started from seeds. First thing I'm going to plant are peppers, and I have planted these in newspaper pots, so this whole thing can go directly in the ground. It's not going to disturb the root system of the pepper at all. So it's very easy. You simply dig a hole just slightly larger than the top of the newspaper pot. You put the plant in there, water, and cover with soil. Now as the pepper grows, the roots will just go through the newspaper and the newspaper will completely break down in the soil. When it's in, just firm the soil slightly. You don't want to pack it down too hard around the stem of the pepper. Now I'm going to plant the tomatoes that I started. Also started them in newspaper pots, so I'm going to plant them almost the same way that I planted the peppers. With tomatoes though, you want to dig the hole deeper. You can plant right up until the first branching off of leaves or the stem. This will make the tomato sturdier and it will actually send off new roots along this stem once it's under the ground. I've also added some special fertilizer to the water that I'm using on the tomatoes. Follow the package directions and it should give your tomatoes a good head start. Okay, now we're going to plant some bulbs. These here are ranunculus. What I like to do if I'm planting bulbs in a container is not to fill the container all the way up. Leave as much space on the top as however deep you are going to plant the bulbs. That way you can just place the bulbs in like this. You don't have to dig holes. Press into the soil. And then when you have all your bulbs in place, you can just take soil that you have on hand and simply cover them up to the appropriate depth. All right, planting bulbs like seeds is very easy. Now, if you have a pot like this, you want to be sure to put it somewhere out of the way where you know what's in it. If you're not going to label it, make sure you don't put it back near your empty pots. Otherwise, you're liable to dig it up and disturb your bulbs. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you planting today is a begonia tuber. This tuber looks very similar to a bulb. You can see on the bottom here, it already has some roots growing out. This is down. Don't quite fill your pot all the way up. Leave it, in this case, we only want to plant these 1 inch deep. So the soil is almost to the edge. Slightly firm them down so that they're making contact with the soil. You can give them a bit of water now to help them sink into the soil a bit. Cover them with the appropriate amount of soil. Give them a bit more water. And that's all there is to planting your summer garden. Now all you have to do is keep an eye on the containers every day to see if they need water. See you next time on the 5-Minute Gardener.